Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. This is a video to tell you there isn't going to be a video. One of the things I do on Sunday, apart from my Sunday chat video, which is normally quite a long one, takes quite a bit of processing and actually has to be loaded on YouTube twice. Once in a ad-free version that you people can't actually see, which is for the Patreon site, so that they do get one little perk. They get an ad-free version of the Sunday chat, the longest video, so it's a nice one to have without any interruptions. So I get that one loaded first, and then I have to load it again for the public, you know, for the people who watch the channel, all that sort of stuff. So it takes a time, and my internet was going up and down all the time yesterday, from 2 minutes before the final whistle of the World Cup final, would you believe? Now, I was watching it on the laptop, so I hastily turned the TV on, no signal on the normal channel, switched to the BBC iPlayer and went, duh, that only works with the internet. So I never saw the end of the match, having saw most of it, annoyed, and it went up and down all afternoon. Seems fine today. Anyway, plans for today and the rest of the week are normally made quietly on Sunday afternoon, because I do my video and I very rarely do anything else on Sunday. It's like a day off nearly. I very rarely post a video on Monday, so we're now at Tuesday, and you know, today would normally be a normal Orchid video. My plans for today were to clear out the carport and take all the bags and all the bamboo that I chopped down from round the front area up the tip and clear out the carport. Having got the car out and used it, because I'd have to, it's currently driven in, so I'd have to back it out, turn it round and back it in to get all that stuff into the back of the car. And at the moment the electrical problem with the driver's door has kicked in again, partway from running Hannah back after the funeral, and basically the electrics on the driver's door have failed, so I can't open and close the windows, and I can't open and close the mirrors. Everything's just stuck where it is. Luckily the windows are shut, otherwise that wouldn't be very nice. And my plan was to have a look at the fuse box and swap the fuses over, which is what I did last time, and it sort of kicked it back in. And if that worked, great. If it didn't, I was going to run it round the garage and see the guy and have a chat with him. Chances are he'd plug the diagnostics thing in, and you know, it would possibly register a fault somewhere in the circuitry. Unfortunately, the guy next door, who has moved out, when we got back from the funeral, his van was in the driveway the wrong way round. He always backs in, and it had been driven in, and he was coming out of the house with 2 huge bags full of stuff like clues and things, and he threw them in the front of the van, and with a big beaming smile on his face he said, "I'm moving out, I'm out of here." Promptly got in the van and zoomed off. So he's moved out, he's gone. There was a rumour they were splitting up, those two anyway. He didn't take the kids with him, I noticed. Yeah, his van is back on the drive at the moment, and it's in front of my car along with another car, which is the mechanic that's replacing his shock absorbers. So nobody's coming in or out today until that job's finished. So that put pay to going up the tip. One of the other jobs on the list was to hit that bamboo. Now later on today, apparently it's going to brighten up and be quite warm. That's not the weather for doing gardening in, so I'm going to stop the waffle now, and I'm hoping to have a go at the bamboo. I'll be filming that, but obviously that's for the gardening channel. It doesn't go on the Orchid channel anymore, and it won't get posted onto the gardening channel until we catch up. So, but I will film it, because it's the last big job to do, and I don't know how far I'll get. But the plan on the Orchid channel, that big long handled saw that I got. I did a video on it when I got it, and it helped do all of that side, the high hedge and everything. It's got a saw on the end of it, but it's also got a blade with a rope. You know, you pull the rope and the blade flicks up. That blade goes into a hook. Yeah, so it comes up from, the hook goes around the branch, the blade comes up from underneath. But without the blade there, it's just a hook. So my plan is to use that hook and all those huge big long bits of bamboo that are sticking up, put the hook round it where I can see it and pull it over so that it bends out, and once I can see it, I just get the chainsaw and cut it off, which stops me having to get inside the bush and trace them down. Yeah, especially as there's brambles in there. So that's what I plan on doing. I shall then have a huge pile of, you know, whatever, 15-foot long bamboo poles in the flipping garden, which I might try and tidy up. The idea is to snip all the little bits off of the sides of the shoots straight into my bag, and then the poles that are left, stash them and let them dry off. That way I've got some stakes for things in the garden next year. You know, things that grow tall that the wind has a go at. So I'll have some bamboo canes, basically. Freebies. Anyway, so that's the plan for today before the sun gets round. If the sun gets round, I'm going to then get up in the bedroom and take some pictures of that tree to show how dead it is, so that I can send them off to the agent. I might even print them off and take them to the office and plonk them down on the table. Witnesses, you've had the evidence. I need to get that tree sorted. Anyway, my plans for orchid videos this week included, I've done 2 so far, where we revisit orchids that had work done on them earlier in the year. Now the first one of those that I did was the things that I worked on in January, February and March, and I made it, you know, I got each one of those plants out, we had a look at it, had a chat about what I did to it back then and the progress it's made, if any. And then the second one of those that I did was everything that I worked on in April. Yeah? The next one I'm going to do is everything I worked on in May. After that, there isn't much got worked on, but there's 13 plants to revisit. So my plan is to split that in 2 this time. We'll have a part 1 and a part 2. Now I'm hoping later today to film part 1, but that's an editing jobby. You know, that's a bit more work for me to do. I've got to get all the plants out in sequence and everything. So it's one of my busier videos, as I call them. Unlike this one, tripod, turn on, waffle, turn off. Wish they were all that easy, but they're not. Some need work. Earn my keep. So anyway, the idea is to split that one in 2. I hope to get part 1 posted later today, but if not, it'll be tomorrow. And then part 2 can go later in the week, you know. Mojo's woken up. Anyway, that's still hot, but as soon as I finish my coffee, I'm going to get out there and make a start on that bamboo. And it's going to be one of those jobs, until I start it, I don't know how hard it's going to be. So if it's relatively easy and my plan works by hooking the things down and they bend over so that they're exposed and I can just hit them with the chainsaw, job done. Next one, yeah. If it is that easy, I'll finish it. And then I will get the hedge trimmer out, if I've still got any energy, and see if I can cut it back, you know, because that'll be the softer stuff. There won't be any thick canes or anything, because I've already pulled them out and cut them off. That may not get done today, but I would like the bamboo tidied up prior to having my inspection. And then that's, quite honestly, as far as the agents are concerned, that's the last untidy bit in the garden. So if that bit's tidied, maybe not finished, but tidied, they've certainly got no comeback. So anyway, thanks for listening to the waffle and some plans for the week, and that's how it will be. Part 1 of the revisiting the work done earlier in the year and having a look at the plants and everything, and then part 2 later in the week perhaps. We've got our project Orchids to do on Friday, and yeah, so ideas for the week. And as I said, my outside jobs, bamboo, possibly clearing it up as well. That might have to wait till Hannah comes down, depends how much bending there is. I don't want to do me back in. And then obviously clearing out the carport and getting all that stuff to the tip, plus any of this stuff that gets bagged up can go to the tip. And try and fix the electrics in the car, or take the car round to the man and let the man have a look at it and decide what needs doing. So there we go, a sort of outline plan for the week. But you know what happens to the best laid plans, don't you? See how much of that gets done and how much gets altered. See you next time. Thanks for listening. I changed my mind. I thought it was a little unfair for all the people on the Orchid channel that have been following the work in the garden to have to wait ages to see what's going on. So this is the before look at the bamboo, and the plan is to cut all of those bits that are sticking out the top off by pulling them out, and then they're down, and then perhaps go around with the hedge trimmer. So that's the before look. Somebody's just woken up. Anyway, so that's what it looks like before I attack it.